Hey y'all, it's Indigo here, coming at you with round two of the Grand Arena Championships exhibition. This is the board that my opponent left for me this round. So, doing the homework, I wasn't sure if I could take out his DR with anything except my DR, so I kept mine for offense, and it looks like he felt the same way. So, he ended up keeping his for offense. And so up top, he put Padme instead, and he's got some bounty hunters there. And then down south, he's got his Night Sisters and then a First Order team. So we're going to go ahead and jump down south first. That way you can see, I went the easiest route so I could see at least what's in the back there. And then after I can see what's in the back there, I can decide what I want to use on Padme. Because you really don't face too many of those on defense. So I know Treya works, but I like to keep my options open because so many things require Treya. So I'll go ahead and take my Padme against his Night Sisters. They're a pretty good counter if you can spare them. If you don't use your Padme to take out like Darth Revan, they're pretty good with taking out Night Sisters just because Padme has the heal and you've got cleanse and you've got so much protection up that they can tank out a lot. And as long as you can keep that protection up, you don't have to worry about being stunned or any of the debuffs. So we're just going to work here on his Night Sisters. It does take a minute to get going. You get stuck behind zombies' taunts some of the time. But once you build up enough stacks of courage, you can really kind of one-shot these Night Sisters when you can get to them. So right now I got Padme with her special move open. Gonna try and knock out Daka there. Keep working on them. What's good is Ahsoka, with her move being able to dispel zombies' taunt quite a lot. Once you have that Zeta on her, anytime someone does their special and she assists, knock out that taunt, and it's a good way to get rid of that so you can start working on who you want to work on. So, trying to take out Daka there, that's good. Now working on, I got Asajj and MT still to really worry about. But dang, if that zombie doesn't just keep going and getting taunt back, it's a little bit frustrating. Just got to keep working on her and, try and knock that taunt off when we can. Finally, I got an open shot, so not quite enough to take out Asajj. Got her down to red bar. And still, zombies putting in work. But that AoE knocked out Asajj, so that's one of the big damage dealers. Don't have to worry about her. Just got zombie and spirit left. And unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do to heal up your team to try to recover those extra banners. You're pretty much stuck with what you've got. So 54 banners for that squad, but against Night Sisters, that's kind of the best you can do. So right now, going against his First Order, I'll just take in my JTR team. And I got Holdo in there ever since I took her to Gear 12, just in case I needed her to go against Geos. I found out she's a pretty good, asset to have as far as being able to heal and help recover that protection. You don't solely have to rely on BB-8's Illuminated Destiny to get that little bit of protection back. It's nice that she can do that and kind of heal up the team for you. And her AoE daze is nice, especially against First Order, being able to daze so that they can't assist, like when his Stormtrooper, does his moves and things like that. It's really good having a daze on there. And then just overall for the tankiness, you don't have to worry about someone super squishy just getting knocked out, like Resistance Trooper just getting dogpiled, and that's the end of it. So I've got Finn in there. He's stunned at the moment, but he's also good for his own stuns, especially against this crew team. You can kind of control the team a little bit more with the right characters, and having Finn in there to help with stunning like crew or Xylo so he doesn't feed turn meter is pretty nice. So just working on his team, Took out Crew there. That's a big piece of the puzzle. Get rid of him. Try and keep Xylos stunned there so he can't feed any turn meter to the team and do his AoEs. And then I'm going to work on Executioner just because he's the next biggest damage dealer. Trying to get rid of him and, you know, get him out of there. The good thing too is you can work on with the wave, you can kind of, you know, get that ability block on there and control their turn meter. So if you don't have them stunned, at least they still won't get to go. So this is a really good team, Resistances, as far as controlling the other team. And it works really well against First Order if your opponent puts First Order on D still, and you can spare your resistance. It's a really good team to help ensure that you get the 60 banner win. And in these matches now that are getting harder and harder in Grand Arena, you need to be scoring as close to 60 banners as you can, sometimes even above that. I mean, every banner seems to count these days. So try to make sure my team is everybody healed up and everything good to go. And they are. So 60 banners for that match. I'm pretty happy with that. No complaints there. Alright, now that we got that zone taken care of, let's open up the back and see what he's got waiting for me back there. What kind of surprises he left. He's got his Grievous team. He's got Grievous lead, but he's got Newt on there. Everybody's got their Zetas. I mean, it looks to be a tough team. No G13 Grievous at least. And then he's got some Shock T-led clones. Thankfully, Shock T is low star, so easier to take out. But we'll go ahead and go up north. That way I can start knocking out those teams. I want to show you his Bounty Hunters and his Padme. There's two mistakes that he made. And the first one we'll go over is his Bounty Hunter team. If he would have put Django lead, it would have been a coin flip as to whether my Stark went first or not. So I was really debating what I would use if I couldn't use my Imp Troopers against his Bounty Hunters. That would force me to use something like CLS or, you know, maybe JTR, something I didn't want to use if he would have put Django lead to get that extra speed. It seems like Bounty Hunters, it's not really about can they get a hold, do they need that extra defense from Bosk. It's more about can I outspeed them, make them burn a better team. And I want my opponent to burn a better team than Imp Troopers against my Bounty Hunters, so they're going to have to burn CLS if they want to outspeed my Bounty Hunters. As it is, I got 60 banners for that, so that was one mistake that he made. Another one here is his Padme team. I went ahead and took in my CLS, Han, Chewie, C-3PO, and Chopper, and the reason I can take in CLS is he only had one Zeta on his Padme. She was 6-star purple gear, but also he only had her lead Zeta. That unique Zeta is crucial. That extra protection up that can't be dispelled is absolutely important if you want to stop this from happening. I can go in with my CLS and just dogpile Padme, get her out of there pretty quick, and now the team kind of falls apart. Yeah, you can't really recover a bunch of protection or anything, but I didn't have to burn my Traya on his Padme just to take her out. I could go ahead and use CLS and save Traya because Traya has a lot more utility for whatever's waiting for me in back. And I think that's a big mistake that, that he can prepare for next time is putting the Zeta on Padme Unique. And that will stop the CLS from being able to easily counter that team. But here's what he's got waiting for me in back. So he's got a Karth team back there, and then he's got his Geonosians. Okay, those are some things that I already planned out my counters for. I know what I want to use now that I see what he's gotten back waiting for me. And I've got plenty of firepower to be able to deal with it. So let's go ahead and take out his Karth team. I know I'm going to use my First Order squad for that. If you guys are still putting First Order on D and you're running into a lot of Karth teams, I recommend that you hold on to your First Order because it's an excellent counter for these Karth teams to be able to max out your banners. Like I said earlier, you want to get as many of those 60 banner wins as possible, and this is a team that can do it for you. If you've got them modded pretty decently well, your crew and your Kylo are going to end up taking most of the punishment, and they'll also be able to help heal up your team and feed turn meter, and then crew's special will stun whoever you want, usually Zalbar, to kind of keep him on the sideline while Fox ramps up his damage. You just keep throwing turn meter to him from first order officer back to executioner, and letting executioner go to work and start doing big damage. Right now we're working on Karth, got him out of there. Now he's got Canderous. He does have the Zeta on there. Admittedly, I don't even know what the Zeta does. I just know, hey, he's got it, so let's worry about taking him out because he's another big damage dealer. Let's try and get him off the board. Right now we're stuck behind Zalbar's taunt, but like I said, the AoEs from Xylo can do some pretty good work. If you have a crit damage set on him with a lot of offense, you can end up taking out characters that you can't get a hold of because you're stuck behind taunt just with the AoE. So that's what I'm doing there too. And now it's down to just the tanks, Zalbar and Juhani. And look at my team, they're pretty well healed up. I just got to make sure as I'm grinding Zalbar down that I can continue to heal. And for that, I like to sometimes start passing turn meter over to my Stormtrooper. That way he can throw up his buffs, because every time they get a status effect, whether it's a dot or whether it's a buff, they're getting 5% health and protection back. So it's a good way to help heal up your team, because he's giving everybody defense up every time he puts up his buffs. Help heal everybody up a little bit. And that's what I'm trying to do to make sure I get my full 60 banners. Some people like to put healing immunity down with Xylo's basic. I don't really like to do that. I just want him to boost turn meter. And it worked out. Got my 60 banners there, so good enough. Now he's got 3 teams left to deal with. We're going to go back down south and take out this Grievous team, since that's the next strongest team to have to worry about. And for that, this one should be pretty fun. Since it's only Gear 12 Grievous and not Gear 13, go ahead and throw Darth Revan at it, and I'll 4-man it just to try and pick up an extra banner. Right off the bat, and just make the whole team eat a dose of fear. That way you can get to everybody go. I got Marauder in there hitting hard, doing his thing, and just shredding this Grievous team. It's there they go. You see how easy that was. The one that takes the longest to take down is just this B1, all these stacks having to get rid of. But thankfully some of the characters have double tap attacks, and you know, you can get rid of them. He's got Newt in there, so you got to watch out for that extortion. So try and take care of that while taking B1 out of the picture. There's no real way that you can kind of heal up and get your protection back. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, other than that, you can see at least I didn't have to worry about dealing with Grievous at all. So 4-man in it for an extra banner, but I lost one somewhere, was able to pick up 60. But like I said, 60 is the number you want to shoot for, so I'll take that all day long. I got his Shaak Ti clones down there to worry about, and then those Geos. And I already know what I want to use on Geos. They kind of have limited counters if you want to go, full and get a decent score. Your best counter that you can use is this one that I'm going to show you, and maybe you've seen it in other videos already. If you want any kind of decent score on Geos, you can do Trail Lead and then Scion. And then I use Sith Trooper just because he can come help take out, tank some of the hits, and he can also help with his AoE to help heal the team if needed. Take maybe just a little bit of the pressure off Scion. Other than that, it's pretty much Treya's lead and then Scion just tanking out all the hits and doing all the work. Once he does his AoE and lands pain on all of them, That's going to make them all be trapped under pain and have to target him. He'll be taunting for them. So they just like to go after him, and the more they do it and they're debuffed attacking me, the more they lose that health and protection. Just eats away, and then Alpha's lead will equalize that, so they're all just wearing themselves down, killing themselves. So it makes it pretty easy for me to be able to clean up now that I've got rid of some of the Geos and the rest of them are down knocking on death's door here. Just got one left. There's no real way to heal up there, but by going undermanned, I'm able to pick up 61 banners on that. So that's a pretty decent score for Geos. I just got this last clone team to go ahead and knock out. And for that, I went EP lead, Nihilus, Darth Vader, Thrawn, and Wampa. Probably could have left one of those at home, but you know, like I say, you got good stuff on your bench. You don't get extra points for leaving it on your bench. Might as well take the good stuff and use it. So that's what I'm doing, just because I haven't really gone up against a whole lot of Shock T's, even though she was weak and I was able to get her knocked out. Trying to get these guys down before they take off too many banners, because I don't know how efficient my opponent's going to be. But he saved a lot of his good stuff for offense. So I'm kind of worried that he's going to do 60 banners, 61, whatever. And I'm trying to get as close to 60 as I can to make it a little bit tough for him to catch up. And up to this point, my opponent hadn't even gone yet. So I'm doing all my attacks and trying to set the bar nice and high for him so that when he does go, he's going to have a tough time. Right here, I'm just kind of contemplating if there's anything I can do to, you know, top somebody off, get an extra banner. Every little bit you can get in an efficiency game is going to come back to help you or come back to haunt you if you missed out on it. So that's what I'm trying to do, is just squeeze out every last little bit of banners that I can. And that's that. The board's clear. I was only able to grab 57 banners off that team. So if you're not counting on a hold, but you want teams that take off decent banners, that one did its job. So I ended up with 1908 for my score. And like I said, my opponent still hadn't gone yet. Now, he did go, like right after I got done going. A couple minutes later, I saw him start to attack. And so I was able to sit there and watch him, and, you know, I'm doing the math as he's attacking and seeing what he's scoring on each of my squads. And I'm watching it tick down. Okay, he got 53 here, and I got 56 in that same spot. You know, doing the math, to me, that was exciting, because I'm like, what's he going to do? Is he one-shotting everything? And he made pretty good progress. He was knocking down my board pretty efficiently, but there were some squads that I knew he was going to struggle on, and thankfully he did. So let me show you what the board looked like after he got done. And there it is. So my 1908 to his 1618. He had got to that back zone back there up top, and I just knew, like, doing my homework on this guy, I was like, if he's going to go full efficient, he's going to use a lot of his top teams to get through that front zone. And luckily, he even went south first, so he burned some pretty good teams to get through my south. And then when he goes and unlocks the back in the north, then you see that Revan back there waiting on you, and I was hoping that he would burn a lot of good stuff to get there already. And so he even messaged me and told me that he's got nothing left to take down that Revan. And that was it. That's the way the board's going to end. So I will see you guys in the next round, the championship finals. And we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be up against a really tough opponent. So I'm looking forward to it, but it's making me nervous. But we'll see you guys next round. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.